I'm taking inspiration from some of the spectacular artworks that have come from festivals such as Halloween and Day of the Dead. These festivals have spectacular costumes, intricate face paintings and beautiful headpieces. This is mine, and here is all the things you're going to need to make it. Metallic gold spray paint, lace fabric, a wide headband, 2 beautiful flowers, some feathers, measuring tape, 4 white flowers, 8 pink, some leaves and branches from outside, some bugs, super glue, and an old necklace. Now for the antlers, you will need shredded newspaper, glue, a hot glue gun, paintbrushes and something to mix it on. You've got masking tape, scissors, wire cutters, wire, and a range of paints. First up, I'm going to make the antlers. I'm going to push aside everything I don't need. So it's got a few things. Get your wire and bend it into a V shape, like so. And what you're aiming for is one long bit, like this, and one shorter bit. So you want a little flat surface so that when you pop it on your headband, it actually has something to stick onto. Follow the wire back all the way up. You're going to actually start to wind the wire around. This is to create a bit more texture. Winding, winding. Watching out for your giant piece of wire here. So very carefully, you want to cut that piece. And now we do the second antler. So now I'm going to make the second side. It's going to have 3 prongs to look kind of like a W. So you really want to make it look like a deer antler. And then when they're side by side, you can kind of see it all coming together. So now we're happy with the shape. You want to get your masking tape and wrap it all the way around everything, basically. And you're going to want to keep going for a couple of layers because it needs to be thick. Next, we're going to paper mache this bad boy using shredded newspaper and some glue. You're going to dip it into the glue and wrap it around your antlers. And you're just going to keep doing that until you have covered the surface of your masking tape. You can use a paintbrush for this if you like, but I like using my hands and getting them a bit messy. And these need to be left to dry overnight. Here are some antlers I prepared yesterday. What I'm going to do next is, using a hot glue gun, run it all down the edges, cover everything, and it just makes it look more realistic, like a real deer antler. And giving it a nice textural look. And when the glue is dry, it's time to mix some paints and get painting. I'm going to make a bone colour using a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red. We want a sort of natural looking bone colour. And just keep mixing until it's not too pink and not too yellow. And paint away. And you want to set these aside to dry. So now I'm going to spray paint my pink flowers and my plastic bugs and some leaves and twigs. It's best to do this in a well-ventilated area with a face mask on and an adult present. But stick around because I'm going to show you how to put all the pieces together.
Welcome to the Get Arty 1 Minute Challenge, where players get, yes, 1 minute to create a masterpiece. No pressure.
Three, two, one. brushes, pencils, make me beautiful. Okay, do you want to work together? Okay. Do you want to make a pig fluffy unicorn? Okay. Quick. I'm going to become a lion. I'll get some of this stuff. Wait, no, that's it. Pom-pom. Okay. Oh, I'll make a trunk. I'll go like this. Grab whatever this thing is. We need more. Or whatever this thing is. Party hat. Party. Okay then. Let's make a party hat.
I don't know how to make
I me either. Break it off. It's not coming off. It's coming. No. 10 seconds.
Time's up.
Oh.
Very cool. Well done, girls.
Earlier on, we made our antlers and spray painted our accessories. Now it's time to put it all together. My fabric's 111 centimetres in length and 57 centimetres in height. So grab your headband and your hot glue gun and glue the top of my headband like so. And then very carefully, I'm wrapping the fabric around the headpiece. Make sure you have it adult around because we're using hot glue. Grab your strong glue and we're going to use this to stick our antlers on top of the headband. And you want to be very generous with the amount of glue you use. So I'm placing the top of the antler just off centre of the headband. And you just got to wait here for it to dry. Next, grab your ribbons and cut them in half. Using the hot glue gun, grab one of each of the ribbons and glue them down on either side. And now we're going to position and glue down our flowers. Start with your biggest flowers, and you can see you're going to need a lot of glue. Now I'm going to pop the white flowers on in a row of 4. Next, we're going to do our gold flowers and do a row of 4 on top of the white. I'm just nuzzling them in between the white ones. Flip your headpiece over and we're going to pop the rest of the gold flowers in the back to cover up our antlers. We're going to glue either corner onto the headpiece and stick it in place. So now you grab the middle piece and you want to drape it in the middle. So now we're going to grab our leafy branches and we're going to stick them behind the antlers. Grab some feathers and place them on the right-hand side of the headpiece. Grab your fake bugs and place them on the back of your lace fabric. I'm just poking the spider legs through. We'll finish. Now that it's dry, all I have to do is put it on. What a perfect fit. Just need to practice walking.
This is my friend, Henry the Ram.
and I'm going to show you just how to make him. So for this cupcake, you will need your dark chocolate, your white chocolate, some cupcakes of course, some buttercream icing, some cardboard patties, a couple of toothpicks, some spoons, a palette knife or a butter knife, some piping bags with a couple of tips, which are a star tip and a round tip, some baking paper, a microwave and a fridge. But if you don't have a microwave, you can use a stovetop. Just make sure you get help from an adult. So first, I'm going to melt my chocolate. I'm going to melt my dark chocolate and my white chocolate. My dark chocolate is for my horns and the white chocolate is for my face. Melt it for about 5 seconds at a time and stir it in between. This will need some time to harden up, so it's good to get it done first. And I'll be right back. So after I've melted my chocolate, I've let it sit for a bit because I'm trying to get the right consistency. I want it to be a thickish consistency so that it fits in the piping bag and doesn't drip straight through. Once you have your chocolate at the right consistency, you want to move quite quickly so that it doesn't go too hard. So we're just going to make it come down like that, and we've got the round tip there. So I'm going to move my bowl and grab my baking paper, and I'm going to make my horns. We're going to do a bit of a straight line and then curl it around. And we'll do a better one than that, just like that. And then don't forget, you have the other side of the head, so we will need to do an opposite one. I always make extras just in case you have breakages. Can't hurt, can it? Now we have the right consistency for our white chocolate. So we're going to put it in our piping bag and make our little snout. So we've also got a round tip for that one as well. Okay. And all we're doing is making little round circles. So all we have to do is squeeze. Now remember, it's always good to make extras. Now I'm just going to make the eyes. So I'm going to grab my chocolate piping bag and do a couple of dots. And what I'll do now with these is pop these in the fridge for about 5 minutes and they'll harden up. Grab these from the fridge and they should be good to go. So I've remelted my dark chocolate, which I'm just going to put a little dab on the side. And now I'm going to add the Y, which is the little snout. So I'm going to grab my toothpick, I dab it in my dark chocolate. So just a little Y like this. That's pretty good. Go ahead and do the rest of them. I've set my chocolate to the side and now I'm going to cut my cupcakes. We're going to take off the patty, tip him upside down, and we will cut off the lip of the cupcake. I'm going to grab my cardboard patty and I'm going to put any excess cupcake inside. And then I'm going to fit the cupcake into the patty. I haven't popped him in too far because I do want him to stick out quite a fair bit. So now I'm going to put my buttercream icing on. So grab your piping bag, your buttercream icing, and your star tip, because we're going to make the fluffy wool. Buttercream icing is just butter and icing sugar mixed together. I think that'll do. Just give it a bit of a squeeze to the bottom, and now we'll get piping. So I'm going to start by doing his face. So the face should be as flat as you can make it. So we'll just do a circle. And then we'll start at the bottom of the cupcake. So I'm just going to do little circles at the bottom. Squeeze it quite firmly, as we do need a fair bit of it to come out. It's a bit of a star because the tip is a star. We'll just do it all in a row like this. And once I've done that, I'll do the next line up above that. Nice and quick. I think he's feeling warm already. Almost done. Now, because our cupcake has a bit of a hard edge at the top, we want him to look a little bit round. So what I'm going to do is just add a few more squirts on top, just to give him more of a rounded head. And I think that looks quite good. Okay, so now that our ram is all nice and fluffy, I'm going to stick his face on. So first, I'll start with his snout, and then I'm going to put his horns on. So I'll pick the best looking ones. I think that looks pretty good. So now all we have to do is stick his eyes on. Now he can see. He's looking really good. I think I'm going to call him Xavier. I'm going to put him next to Henry. Too cute. It's on, buddy. It's good. Hi, I'm Bianca and I'm an artist. So I do cake decorating, face painting. I love painting. I love colour. I love to mix and match and have a play, really. Art makes me feel so happy. I think it's so great for anyone to do and there's no mistakes. So yeah, I think it's wonderful. Everything I know, I've kind of taught myself and grew up watching my mum because my mum is an artist and I think everyone in my family is an artist of sorts, so yeah. So the best thing and the worst thing with cakes is the mess. I think I love making mess and don't like to clean it up, so that's probably the best and worst. A pig in mud. I think we're all done.
So the APY lands are in the far northwest of South Australia, on the edge of the NT border. Significance of art for Anangu, that's Aboriginal people from the APY lands, it's really a representation of their culture, to show it off and to also pass it down. There are 7 art centres on the APY lands. The art centre movement in general started in Annabella. Annabella is the oldest Aboriginal art centre in Australia, begun in 1948. Aboriginal art centres are spread all throughout the country. The major communities each now have an art centre which represent them. This exhibition, Nanya Pakilipi, started really with the ideas of the elders to bring works of the 7 art centres together in a major exhibition. The artists and art centres have never collaborated before on this scale. The collaborative works often happen within art centres, but not across the region. So it's the first regional collaborative project.
That one, it's laying down here.
This project really presented an amazing opportunity for the artists and the art centres. Through that, they wanted to exhibit old work by living artists and also by artists that have passed away, as well as create a new body of work. And so 4 collaborative works were created: a men's collaborative painting, a women's collaborative painting, a big jumpy sculpture, which is a weaving, and then a work which referenced traditionally made tools. One of the big aspirations of the artists was to see these collaborative works realised, and it's really called Our Stars. It's about those senior artists who really built the movement.
Anne's been working really hard, and we are happy to hear to opening up IPY Gallery.
This work was created by artists from the 7 communities in the APY lands. 25 women, senior women, were involved in this painting, and they decided that they wanted to paint one big canvas and they wanted to show the important 7 sisters Jukupa. And so this painting here is that story, and it's a collaborative work really by those senior women, those stars, those elders of the art centres. It's a large canvas, but when you've got 25 women working it, it didn't quite seem big enough to hold the personalities and the skills and the strength and the talent of these 25 senior women. Yeah, it's really a celebration of their work and the strength of art centres and the strength of the community. My role was really just artist support. The artists they're incredible and they had an amazing vision. Really in the lucky position that I get to witness some of the best art in Australia being made, and I'm just really on the edges, just helping where I'm needed.